Hello,
How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. I'm good. What can I do for you?
I have a genuine question.
Okay.
Right, like when it comes to dating, right? Obviously, if you're talking to someone and they just keep ghosting you and coming back and ghosting and coming back, that's weird, right? Like people shouldn't do that no matter how busy they are.
Correct.
Okay, that's it? Like, okay.
Yeah, I think everyone would agree with that, right?
Okay.
Yeah, nobody's that
Yeah,
busy.
someone just like commented like avoidant behavior. Obviously, but you know what like is weird? I'm gonna be so transparent and
Hmm.
for no reason at all.
Okay.
The thing that's weird to me is that they just come back and everything's like all good, trips and all that fun stuff. And then they disappear like nothing happened, and they come back and it's like, oh, let me take you out, let's do this, let's do that, and disappear. And I would want to be okay with that, but at the same time, it just doesn't make sense to me. Why are you so willing to spend money and time on me if you don't want a relationship?
Right. So what's the story here? Like, how long have you been seeing this person?
For like a year on and off.
A year on and off? Okay. And how'd you meet them?
Well, I met them back in uni and then randomly bumped into them like in the middle of South Africa.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it was so weird. Like, I had blocked them back in uni because it's like you're not serious about anything.
Uh-huh.
And then like meeting them in South Africa, like they just came up to me like, "Are you not Juanita?" I'm like, "Yeah, I am Juanita." He's
Uh-huh.
like, "Oh, unblock me." And then since then we've just been like going on trips together, which is weird because like you don't actually want anything. So
Right.
what are we doing?
Right. So so when he does come back and y'all go on trips, like he just ghosts after the trip is done?
Yeah, but like we don't talk that much. Like we talk, let me say once a week, like, oh hey, how are you doing? Blah blah blah. Oh, let's go do this, let's go there, let's go. Do you get what I mean?
Are y'all sleeping together?
Like when he comes back, we talk like once a week.
Okay.
And then we do go on like these like random sporadic trips.
And do
That's
y'all
all it is.
see y'all don't sleep together at all?
We do sometimes.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure he was getting something out of the interaction. Okay, yeah, I mean, this for whatever reason, that's like the dynamic that he prefers, but it doesn't sound like he has any serious intent, which I mean, you already know, right?
I mean, yeah, defo.
Yeah. So, what are you gonna do in this situation? Are you gonna continue taking trips, or are you gonna stop that?
That's what I'm trying to hear. Like, I'm trying to be told, like, yeah, this is wrong, bad for your mental health, stop this, it's
Well, it's not
okay.
just that love; it's like it's trade offs, right? So everything you say yes to, you're saying no to other opportunities.
See, okay, yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like if you were in your like a season where you just want to have fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not the big a deal to entertain this. But if you're telling me like, okay, you actually do want to be in a long term relationship, you want to find your person, this person is going to be a distraction. They're going to actively prevent you from that chance encounter,
Right.
right? Because they're already occupying your mental bandwidth right now to the point that where you're asking a question about them in this live, right? So they're
Yeah,
taking up mental real estate. So that
yeah.
prevents another person from taking up that same real estate who can actually meet you in the way you need to be met.
Okay, that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
No problem, love. Best luck to you, all right?
Thank you.
All right. What's up? Hello.
Hey yo.
What's up, man?
Hey, I just got a question about online dating.
Okay.
I was talking to this girl for like 4 days, and we were sending like these like story messages back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
We were just having a good time,
Mm-hmm.
and then all of a sudden she texted me today, and she was like, "Hey, you seem like a really nice guy. You know, if we didn't live so far away, I'd totally hang out with you."
Uh-huh.
But and then she's cut me off, and then she blocked me.
Mm. Okay. So y'all never went on a date. Y'all just were talking within the app.
We were just talking. It was Facebook, yeah.
Got you. How long did y'all talk?
Valentine's Day.
Okay. I mean, like, how many days?
Well, what is Valentine's Day like? 4? It was just super random because we were vibing.
Okay. You mean you've been talking since Valentine's Day? Okay, I got you. Um. Okay. And was there any? So how far away was she from you?
Like 100 miles.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not gonna work then, right?
Well, I don't know. I just thought we were vibing.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like y'all were, but like that's still a distance, right? She may not be open to a long distance type of situation.
No, I mean for sure, but she also like blocked me. Like she like gave me a message and
Uh
she
huh.
was like, I don't think I should like. Well, she said you're a great guy. I hope you can find somebody. Bye.
Hmm.
And she didn't even like give me an opportunity to like say anything back.
Got you.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I
Some.
just thought it was weird, bro. I just thought I would.
I got you. No, I got you, bro. You ain't gotta explain to me. Like, but some people, that's just how they move. They don't want to have to deal with any other blowback from that conversation. They just want to say their piece and then keep it going. So they'll block you just to prevent you from having the opportunity to respond.
But like I'm a chill guy. I could have been like, you know what? I had a great time talking to you. I don't know. I just felt. I don't know. I'm just sitting here like, what?
Yeah.
So, anyways, I appreciate it.
No problem, brother. Best of luck to you, man. All right. Paris, what's going on?
Hi, I kind of had the same situation as the girl before, um, but it's kind of complicated because we would mess around and he would spend money on me, and then randomly he just said that he wanted to be in a relationship with me and that he liked me, and then when I told him that I liked him too and that I wanted to try, he backtracked and he said that, oh, it's not realistic, oh, we can't do it.
Hmm.
And I just want to know, like, what the hell does that mean? Why would you say that in the first place? Because I wouldn't have said I liked him,
Right.
if he didn't bring it up first.
Okay. How long did y'all date?
It wasn't dating. We were just messing around for like a year and a half.
Okay.
And I was fine with that. Like, I had no issues with that.
Got you. So you were cool with the dynamic, and then he ruined it by.
Yes. I just don't understand it.
um, yeah, it's like it's the weirdest thing in the world, but that seems like there's some degree of like avoidance, right? Avoidant attachment. He probably really
Right.
did feel that way, and then when maybe he assumed that maybe you didn't want him like that, and then when you admitted that you liked him, it became real. You know, he couldn't handle that, so he had to escape. So he looked for a justification to avoid the situation. So y'all have like ended things since that conversation,
No. Like, I kind of like, I've been ignoring him for like a while because
okay,
that actually made me really upset.
right?
So he's been trying to like text me and stuff, but that's it.
Gotcha.
So,
Yeah, it just sounds like he just has an intimacy issue for whatever reason. So like he doesn't want the closeness, even though part of him sounds like like he does. But then once it's reciprocated, it's like, whoa, I didn't know we were going there. Let me get out of here.
right, but it just doesn't make sense because he also said that he wanted a wife, right?
Yeah.
And he says that I know you'd be a great one, but we're just like in two different stages of our lives because I'm in college right now in a different state.
Mm-hmm.
And he's back home in New York. So I understand what he's saying, but it's just like he knew that it wouldn't work before he said that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He
So
knew
why say it?
that we were going to be long distance if he even tried.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I didn't like. So,
Yeah, there's people. I don't know how much you know about attachment styles, but there are people who are called fearful avoidance, and they have a lot of inner like contradictions. So a part of them wants connection and intimacy, and then the other part of them fears it. So the experience of them is them behaving and acting and even verbalizing a desire for like real connection, but then once it's real, they run from it. And then when they run from it, they may come back. And then it gets really and they'll run again. Right? It could be annoying to deal with. But there are people out there like that. So, what are you thinking now? Are you still going to want to deal with them, or are you just kind of done over the situation?
I'm gonna like give it time because he did say he was gonna come down to where I'm at to come see me.
Okay.
So I think I'm gonna give it time because I don't know what I want to do right now because I'm not really in the mood to mess around.
Right.
But if there is a time I'm in the mood, then yeah, I'll probably do it. But right now, yeah.
That's fair.
Probably not.
You
Yeah.
think you can stay detached after this conversation?
Maybe. I'm gonna try.
All right. Well, best of luck to you, love. All right.
All right. Thank you.
Huh? CC in the building. What's up, CC?
Hello, hello. How are you doing, Coach?
Good. How are you?
Good, I'm doing good. I thought I'd come up a little early because
Right.
we need to get these shares up so hopefully our numbers can increase.
That's
so
right.
I need about, let's say, 30 people. Can we get 30 people to repost and share the live right now? That gray arrow down there at the bottom. Just go ahead and click that real quick. Real quick. Can we get that number up? Just 30 people out of the 200.
Right.
Just a small, simple. You got a big head. Not you. Sorry. Just a simple ask. Thank you, guys. I got 7. Okay. Few more. Let's tap that screen. We should be at, at least 15K by now. Thank you, blessed child. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you guys so much. And then don't forget, I've seen a couple of people already asking to come up. If you have a private account, Coach is the only one that can let you up. So you might have to wait. Axel, stop. You might have to wait a little bit. But if you want to make your page public, the mods can let you up a lot faster as well. Or you can go up on your backup account if you want to be a little secretive. We all about that life in here.
Right.
That's okay. Whatever gets you to come up and join the panel. All right, we only have 8 shares. Can we get a few more? At least 30 people. We want at least 30 shares. All right, Coach. I'm going to jump down. Thank you. Have a good life today.
Appreciate you, CC. All right, if y'all want to come up, just hit the button at the bottom of the screen with the blue and pink person, and we'll bring you up, all right? Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
Okay, I just need to confess something.
Okay.
So I don't know if you remember me, but I was the one that was saying, like, I have a problem with, like, taking stuff too serious in a talking stage.
Okay.
And I didn't know how to just be calm. And, like, if I feel like somebody's talking to more than one person, I feel like I'm being betrayed, even if we just met.
Okay.
Yes, so I said I was going to calm down, and I crashed out again. So, like, I just need some tips, low-key, on how to be chill.
What did I tell you last? I don't
There are
remember
two people.
I don't remember the comment. What did I tell you last time?
You told me that it's not betrayal if you're not with somebody, basically.
Right.
But I can't stop feeling like that.
Okay. Okay. So who did you crash out on and why?
Either just taking too long to text back or just like not having enough energy. Or just if I just feel like that the energy is being divided,
Mm-hmm.
I just will just crash out and just block.
Okay. When you say crash out, what are you doing? You like fussing them out?
I'll be like, yeah, I'm not talking to you ever again, and then I'll just block, and that's it.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. So it's not even that like they're talking to somebody else. It's just if they're not showing up in the way that you think they should.
Yeah, but it's like I know that it's not healthy. Because, like, you don't meet somebody, 2 days ago and then have to owe them everything. But I just be feeling like I'm owed everything.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. That's why I'm here with you.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's too much to unpack in the live. But you got to learn how to regulate yourself, love. Like, you are being obsessive. Right? So you have to find ways when you start to feel activated and you feel like, someone isn't texting you back and you're starting to get worked up over it, you got to find ways to calm yourself down and take your mind off of the situation. Because
You
right
be
now...
feeling disrespectful. That's what I'm saying. I be feeling disrespected.
Mm-hmm.
But
But that's not the situation though, right?
I get it.
Yeah. But that doesn't calm you down in the moment, that awareness.
Yeah, no.
Right.
It don't work anymore.
So yeah, you got to calm yourself down first, so that you can listen to reason, right? Because it's like you understand this intellectually, but it's when you get worked up, all of that goes out the window. So when you get worked out, we gotta fix that portion of things.
Yeah, just like take a step back.
Yeah, find different things to
now I'm
do.
controlling. Oh my goodness, bro.
Yeah, you gotta find different things. But even that's a band-aid solution though, beloved. Like even if you do calm down, like you're crashing out in the talking stage, so I can only imagine what it's like to be in a relationship with you. You know? So even if we do solve the talking stage problem, you still have a really big problem that's going to service, showcase itself in the actual relationship to where like you'll sabotage it with that type of mentality.
Well, Jasmine, good thing you only have to imagine it and you don't have to be in it. Thank you.
Say what?
Oh, I was just responding to a comment.
Oh yeah, don't focus on the comments. It's going to distract you. But yeah, so the band-aid solution in the meantime is to find ways to regulate yourself. There's different things you can do, right? Like I've showed the chat, you can put one hand on one armpit, one hand right here, and it simulates a hug, makes you like feel better. There's like box breathing. There's a lot of stuff you can look up on YouTube, like different somatic practices that can calm your nervous system down a bit. So find one of those that work. But then you also need to couple it with a long-term solution, like therapy or something like that. Because even if we
Yeah,
get
I'm
you
in
past,
therapy. I have 2 therapists.
and what did they say about this situation? What did they tell you to do?
Um, I don't even think I brought it up.
Why not? Because you got a lot of stuff going on, huh?
I mean, but yeah, it's not like it's weird because like I'm still like I'm a busy person. I have a lot going on, but I just don't like feeling like I'm just being disrespected. But I mean, it is what it is. I just think I don't play that. But I
So
don't know,
do
I feel
you?
like maybe
So
I just gotta meet somebody that's like me, and it'll all work out. But
well, now it sounds like you genuinely believe that you're being disrespected.
okay, so my thing is this, right? Boom. If you text, why would you text me knowing that you texting 5 other people? Like, why would you bring me in the middle of your mess? That's disrespectful.
How
Is
are
it
you?
not?
How are you meeting these people?
Just like out and about, like
Just out and
just
about?
we go into like retreats and stuff.
Okay. All right. I mean, that's kind of what you have to assume nowadays, right? Like, you're very rarely going to come across somebody who isn't entertaining anyone.
But I don't talk to people.
I
So
hear you.
like I'm just trying to figure out why is everybody else talking to a bunch of people?
Yeah, that is the culture right now. So maybe you come across somebody who is similar to you, where they're not entertaining anyone, right? But that's not what you described previously. You said something about like not texting you back in a timely fashion.
Yeah, that too. But I
Okay.
feel like that's why. If you're entertaining a lot of people, it's
See,
going to be hard to text back.
that's okay. Now we're making assumptions. So you don't know for sure they're talking to multiple people. You're assuming that they are because they're not texting you back as fast as you want them to.
Man, I know. You know when you know.
No, you don't. Absolutely not. There could be multiple reasons why people aren't texting you back that quickly. And somebody can deal with 5 people and still text you back quickly. That's not impossible. That's not hard at all. That's not hard at all. How long does it take to text somebody back? You could text 4 people back in 30 seconds and then text you back. So how are you jumping to that conclusion? You think they're exhausted from texting 4 other people? Oh my God, I'm so tired. I talked to 4 other people. I can't possibly text her back right now.
Designer, girl, be quiet with just a girl that loves God in the gym in your bio. Represent the Lord and watch your mouth.
Right. Focus though. What I just said. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So we can't jump to those conclusions. That's possibly why you are crashing out the way you're crashing out. Because you're coming up with a narrative that isn't even grounded in reality. Right? Right. Okay. Good talk, love. Best of luck. Blessed child, what's going on?
Hi, good night. I'm okay. How you
Good,
doing?
good. What can I do for you?
Okay, so I think I'm like similar to the lady that was now speaking there.
Similar to
Yeah,
what?
because I
Which
feel
one?
like, pardon me?
Similar to what, lady?
That was now talking God love.
Okay. All right. What's your
Yes.
situation like?
Yes. Okay, with me and my situation now, I find like when I meet a person, like it's just like I would just entertain one person and it's like, okay, well, are you serious? Do you want to get married? Like I'm ready and let's do it, or let's see what, can happen. And I find like not every guy, wants to just like get locked in like within 3 to 6 months or a year. So yeah. And okay, my situation is now like I'm actually in a relationship with someone, or kind of like a situationship. Yeah. But the thing is, he doesn't want to. He keeps saying that he doesn't want to get married.
Okay.
But I mean, like, yeah, we living together. He helps with the bills and food and everything. Make sure that I'm good. He cooks, do everything.
Wait, you said y'all live
He just
together?
want to see
Hold
me
on. You said you live
good.
together?
But pardon me.
You said y'all live together?
Yeah.
And this is a situationship?
Well, he does not want to have a title to it right now, which is crazy.
He doesn't want to have a title, so he doesn't even.
Scared. He said he's scared because maybe, like, you know.
So y'all aren't even in a relationship.
Well.
And y'all live. This ain't funny, love. Like, and y'all live together?
Yes.
Why do you live with someone you're not in a relationship with?
Honestly, like I said, like, I don't know. Maybe I was just tired of being alone. Yeah.
Okay. So what question do you have about this situation?
Okay, my question is, what do I do now? Like, yeah, because actually he's making sure that I'm good and everything, helps with the bills and food and everything.
Right.
But it's just, he would tell me things like, he wants to see me happy and all of that. But
Okay, we have two options. You can stay with him and then never get the relationship that you want, and never have the marriage or anything like that, right? Or you can leave, and go find that. Those are your two options, though.
Oh boy. The thing is, like, a part of him don't want to leave.
Say that again?
A part of him do not want to leave.
A part of him? Why are we talking about him? We're talking about you right now.
Okay, well, the same thing for me, yes.
I mean, you have to get over that part. Tell that part to shut the hell up so you can do what you need to do, right? Like, because you can't stay in the situation, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was just thinking about maybe I should just hold out and see how things go.
No, things aren't going to change the way
Because
it's going to be
10
exactly.
years,
No, it's going to be the exact same way it is right now, right? Nothing's changing about this situation. So either you accept, okay, I need you to stop being shocked, love, because I mean, how are you not aware of this? You know what I mean? Like, you're living with someone you're not in a relationship with. It's not a normal situation to be in, right? So this isn't going the place you think it's going. This isn't a waiting see situation. This is your permanent state if you stay in this relationship. Is you're going to be roommates with the person that you're sleeping with, okay? So either you accept that or you leave so you can find someone to actually be in a relationship with. Okay?
Wow.
All right, love. I'll let you ponder that. You have a good one, all right? Take care. Whoa. Tonight is quite interesting. What is going on? All right. Elle Woods, what's happening?
Hello.
How you doing?
So, I am in a relationship. I've been in a relationship
Thank God.
for
All right, keep going.
5 years.
Okay.
We also live together. And I think that's too long to be a girlfriend.
Okay.
And I had a very big issue with being a woman having to express a man that, hey, I think it's time for a ring, right?
Right.
But I swallowed my pride and I did it anyway. But I would do it in a very passive aggressive way when I would get other people, giving opinions saying, oh, why don't you have a ring yet? Or, oh, we're getting married. We're still waiting on you. I would mention it to my partner. And eventually that started to upset him, right? We recently went on vacation. And right before we went on vacation, we went to his holiday party at his job. One of his colleagues told us congratulations as like a slip. So I'm thinking, okay, in Thailand, it's going to happen. It did not happen, and I completely lost it. I was very upset.
Mm-hmm.
And now that trip was last month. Now we are in February, approaching March, and I still don't have a ring, and I'm reaching the point where it's like, it's either I get it before I turn 32, which is in July, or I gotta leave. And I think my question here is, how do I get him to understand that I need the ring right now?
Okay, I get it. I get it. Yeah, I mean, you might be in ultimatum territory, love. Like, it doesn't have to be an argument or anything like that. And it's a gray area situation, right? Because it's not ideal for the woman to ask the man to marry her. It's not an ideal situation. It's unromantic. I'm sure you resent even having to have this conversation, right? You want the person to just do it. But if you spend that much time with the person and there's no signs on the horizon that an engagement is coming soon, then you gotta kind of put your foot down, right? And say, listen, I completely understand if you're not ready, but I need you to understand that I have been in this relationship for a while, and this only feels right for me anymore if there is marriage on the horizon, right? If not, that's fine. I wish you the best, but I can't stay in a situation like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
just that simple, okay? And you let me know what happens when you have that conversation. All right?
Will do.
All right, love. Best of luck to you. You take care. C in the queue. Let's bring C up real quick. What's happening, big dog? Come on, C. He got the worst connection on the planet. That T-Mobile, man.
No, it was just I'm on my Bluetooth. That's why.
We got to get you off T-Mobile, baby.
Huh?
We got to get you off Cricket Wireless. What's going on, man?
That's oh shit! I think I'm getting a call. Hold on.
Okay.
This is really loud right here. This is I couldn't have done this at a worse time. Okay, I think I'm good. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just a general question, because I feel like all the questions have been very depressing and sad.
Right.
So I guess I'd break the monotony of it.
Appreciate you.
Because what the girl was talking about right now just reminded me of my friend has a boyfriend that they've been together for like 5 years, and she really wants to get married, and he doesn't really want to because he feels like he's not in the place in his life where he can be a good husband. So like in a general sense, like as a man, how do you like not get in your own head and in your own way and thinking that? Because I feel like I felt like that in the past, where I felt like if I was in a better position in life, I'd
See, you're muted. You know that, right?
Wait, did it cut out?
It did.
Oh shit.
And it cut out again. All right. You're back.
I'll try again later.
No, we gotta finish it. You said better position. That's the last thing I heard.
Yeah, this is quick. Just so like, how do you balance that, like thinking you're in the right position in life to do that versus using that to not commit further? Is there such a thing as that?
Yeah, I mean, especially when you're in a
Not being in the
situation.
right spot in your life.
Yeah, especially if you're in a situation where not much will fundamentally change. Like, obviously things will change, but like you're already living together and stuff like that. You're already paying bills. It's avoidance, right? It's just avoidance. Like what your friend's boyfriend said sounds like an avoidance statement. Like if I heard him say that, I would want to unpack it. Like, what does it mean to be a good husband? And I would imagine that he would have to like kind of search for an answer because he hasn't thought about it, which would tell me that it is avoidance.
Yeah, because she always brings it up to me, and like, when we always talk about relationship stuff, she's like, I brought it up to him, and I told him I want to get married, and he said we will one day. Just, you know, we're living with my cousins right now, and blah 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 this, and he's just not ready for it. Like he wants to, it's just he just doesn't feel like he's in the right spot to be a husband. So I always tell her, I was like, sometimes as a man, we feel that way. Like if we can't provide to the best of our abilities, we might not feel good enough for it.
Right.
But at the same time, like y'all been together like what, 7 years now? It's about time.
I agree. Have they been in that same? Have they been living with the cousins like the full 5 years?
No, that's a new thing. So like the last, I want to say year was the first time either of them moved out. So they're living together for the first time.
Okay, but it's not their place. They're staying with other people.
Yeah, they're staying with her cousin and her cousin's husband.
But up until
So
this
he
point,
also said like he feels like their home isn't really a home
right?
either. So
And that's valid. But so up until this point, so the 4 years of the relationship, they were both staying with their parents.
yes.
Okay. Okay. I get his perspective, but at the same time, you gotta pull the trigger at some point, right? Or at least like have a plan as to what's the plan in place to get out of the cousin's place. You may not know that, but yeah, I would be curious to see
That's what I
that.
told her. I said, as long as y'all are progressing, that's the more important thing. And at the end of the day, labels are like really just labels. Maybe you just want that security of the label.
Uh-huh.
But at the same time, it does show a further level of commitment and care in the relationship. So I told her maybe give him some grace for a little bit. But I don't know.
Grace can be extended only if there's some sort of plan, that a reasonable plan, right? So it's like, okay, what is your plan to get us out of this place? Or what do you think our plan should be to get out of this place, right? If he doesn't have one, then it's like, I would agree he's probably not fit to be a husband yet, right? Because it's like, this is kind of the responsibilities you're going to have to shoulder with that label. You know?
Yeah, because I'm supposed to meet up with her. Us and some other friends are supposed to get together, and I know she's gonna bring it up. So
Yeah.
that's the advice I guess I'll give her.
It's a tricky one, man, because like a lot of guys avoid it because there's the narrative culturally is that it's not much in it for men. I've heard women say that just like lately too. Seen women make content saying that it benefits men, marriage benefits men. It was interesting to see both sexes view that it benefits the other more.
Did you see that discourse online about that article that said having a boyfriend in 2026 is embarrassing?
Yeah, there's a bunch of loser women. There's a bunch of loser women, bro. You just gotta ignore stuff like that. It's not a reflection of the population.
I mean, I didn't agree with it either. I just thought it was a really funny way to say something like that.
Yeah, you gotta avoid women who like have a disdain for men. There was this woman, she's a mutual of mine actually. I won't name her, but she makes content and she'll be like, women are the only ones who date their number one predator, right? And I'm like, come on, love, come on. Because it's like, that's true, right? Like, is that true? Sure, I'm sure that's a statement of fact. But at the same time, if you're thinking that way, I guarantee you're a buzzkill. I guarantee you no one wants to be around you. That thought is not helping you in any way, shape, or form. You regurgitating that and buying into it is having a deleterious effect on your relationships. I promise you. So you got to be careful what you kind of like believe and invite into your worldview.
Okay.
All right.
I'm getting a call now, though, but I gotta go.
All right, big dog.
Thanks as always.
Appreciate the question, man.
All right.
All right, who we got next? Let's get a guy up here. Hopefully, buddy. There we go. What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing this evening?
Great. How about yourself, Chief?
Oh, pretty good. I was sitting here and enjoying you guys speak a little. So, I have a question about a previous situation or relationship.
Sure.
I was involved with someone for about a couple of years. The first year was pretty good. They didn't really like my job because I was involved in logistics. I'm a mover, move people all over the country, military executives, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
So it got to the point where, I was covering the big bills at home because we had moved in together. But, my goal was always to get out of, the truck because I own my equipment, tired of it, want to, park it and not do it anymore and do something different. So I chose a couple of career paths and, it didn't pan out because there wasn't a whole lot of activity going on. And, I'm looking for more of ownership status and growing into that kind of growth. So when I finally get to the situation, we're going back and forth and they're saying they're bored, whatever not. We could never have real conversations in the direction that we're going because their idea of life was, they want to have fun and enjoy life. I'm like, that'll come. Let's just set the foundation. But they didn't have the patience enough. So when I finally got something that gave me everything that I wanted, in a sense, actually in all the senses, as far as financial, ownership opportunities and everything that I'm looking for to be solid.
Mm-hmm.
They decided they didn't want to do it anymore. Mm-hmm. Okay. It was already difficult to have conversations, or even go into details in the direction of what we're trying to communicate it, but they didn't really didn't seem interested in understanding. Just be patient, it's all going to come together.
Right.
So towards the end, when I finally get there, they decide that they don't have it anymore in them. And I just thought it was kind of interesting.
Okay. How long were you with this person?
Almost 2 years. 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it was, because we talked about it, whatever not. I allowed them to save their money, put their money aside for whatever emergencies, and they did. And, one day the comment leave their mouth like, why do I have to save my money for, when things come out, why can't I just do what I want to do with my money? I looked at her like, are you serious right now?
Mm-hmm.
If you're trying to build something, it doesn't make any sense. But in her mind, it was like, well, I'm taking the financial strain because I'm making the moves. And because she works her job, she makes decent money. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to, she about $700 a week, $800 a week, whatever not. She was able to save that, plus her, retirement check that she got to save it. Mm-hmm. So I figured we could stack some money that side because I'm covering the big bills and you're able to save money. But it got to the point where I think they said, I lost track of what they were saving, but it just got to the point where I just felt felt bigger than the program. Mm. I thought we had an agreement about the program, because it wasn't happening when they wanted to happen. It started to be a problem.
What did she want to happen specifically? Like, what was she saying when she complained about the situation?
And I always asked her that. So I just want to live life. Like, I don't want to have to, sit on money. We can't do this and do this yet. Just wanting to do things. And it was just like, it's coming. Just be patient, So I have a plan. I know what I'm looking at. I was approached with a couple of things that were very promising, and I accepted one of them. But when we got to that point, it's like I'm just tired of, waiting. That was the problem.
What was she wanting to do specifically? Was like take trips or go out?
The crazy part was they always wanted to say, I just want to live life and have fun and live life, whatever not. I have friends. I have things that I like to do. And I noticed that she didn't have a lot of friends. You know what I mean? She didn't have friends. Okay. You ask her what you want to do, she'll say, I don't know. Well, you're always on your phone. Well, while I'm working, find things that you want to do, we can go do it. But it would never do it. So it put me in a position where I got to thinking where they wanted me to do everything.
Okay.
And there was no, they didn't understand the vision, or they didn't want to understand the vision, or they lost patience. I don't know. But when I finally got to what I wanted to get to, it was like, it's too late. What?
So, like, when y'all going out on dates and stuff like that?
We'll go out every now and then. Again, I'm an outdoorsy person. I like activities. Okay. They were not so much. I'm like, okay, well, talk to me about the things you want to do, and then they'll wait around, or I find things to do. They're like, no, I don't want to do that. So we don't go. So when they canceled out or didn't want to go, it's because of them, not because it wasn't planned. Other than just going out to dinner. I like experiences. So that's what I liked. And I asked her one day, I just wanted to go to the beach and just go to the beach and just relax. Well, it's cold. Can't go to the beach. You know what I mean? you know, like just try something different and new, and they were never up to it. But yeah, it will fall back on me because we wasn't doing enough. We wasn't doing enough dates or those things. But when I bring it to you, when I'm here, you know, either A, you're tired because you worked, or you don't feel like it. But yet you forget those moments when I tried to initiate those things on a regular, and you shot them all down. But yet it falls back to my backyard.
It sounds like a compatibility issue.
Yeah.
Fundamentally, right? Because it's like you were planning for the future, right? She was living for now.
For now.
Right? And even down to, I don't even really think compatibility really relates to like just general interests, but it sounds like y'all weren't even aligned there. Y'all didn't even like the same things, right? So to her going out in nature, something that brings you joy, was something that probably annoyed her. So it just sounds like y'all weren't aligned. Y'all just weren't incompatible.
That's what I was thinking. There was more of the alignment issues because, you know, we had these conversations and, you know, I always told her one day, you always think about spending, but you never think about saving.
Mm-hmm. What drew you to her initially?
I'm sorry?
What drew you to her initially?
We had a good conversation. We went out. We had a good time. We thought a lot of things that we wanted aligned at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, as the relationship went on, I realized that conversations got harder. You ever tried to have a conversation with somebody and you trying to have clear, direct, precise answers? And I would get these riddles. And I'm like, what does that mean? Like, you know what it mean or whatever not. And, you know, the thing that really irked me a lot was she gave narrative to things that wasn't so. I'm like, what's going on? You know, and, you know, I've always had my own, you know, even when it got down to when I was transitioning, she had to pick up a couple of bills, you know, just make sure everything flowed. But that was a problem. But you forget that I carried the bills.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like it just came from a selfish space. But again, it could be just incompatibility.
Yeah, that's how I would think about it. Yeah, I don't think it just sounds like she was a bad person. It's just like probably a maturity gap as well. Was she younger?
No, she's actually 52.
Interesting. Okay.
That's the part that threw me a little
that
bit.
Would have drove me crazy.
That would have You said I would have drove you crazy?
Absolutely. You would, like, the way you describe it's like a 20-something-year-old.
That's the thing about it. It's like, you know, the things that you wanted, you know, I managed to get. I go for what I want, and I got what I wanted. And it's just like, you know, I feel like I didn't have the support in that, which kind of bothered me. But whatever, I'm not going to let it rain on my parade. I got to do what I got to do. And it's just like they just can never get on board. So it's like, you know, I'm not the one that believe in gender roles. I believe that we're in the household together. We all get it done together.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
So it was just one of those things. I can never get the things that I need. And, you know, I tried to meet her with the things that she need. It was always like it was a constant competition or a battle when it shouldn't have been.
Right. It sounds like it. Yeah, it sounds like, I mean, based on what you're saying, assuming everything is right, you know, I'm sure she would have her own story, but like, it sounds like you acted in good faith. That's really all you can do. And you're with somebody who you just could not get in alignment with. That's all it was. How'd you meet her?
I'm sorry?
How'd you meet her?
We actually met on social media, believe it or not.
Okay.
And we did good for the longest time, you know, whatever not. But, you know, I knew what I wanted to transition into. And, you know, it's all about timing. When you want to do what you want to do, it's all about timing. Sometimes it's not perfect. Sometimes it is. But what I was looking for did come along. And, you know, it frustrated me because, you know, I wasn't thinking about the situation just for me. I was thinking about it for us. Plus, I have a daughter. Not by her, but, you know, my child, too.
Right.
So I want to make my next move my best move.
Right.
And that's what I did.
There we go.
But the whole thing at the end, it just seemed like I'm not going to even lie to you, it felt very spiteful. And that's the part that kind of confused me. If it's just differences, cool, but it just felt very spiteful, like your mom was just shut off to whatever. But, you know, and the thing about it, you were going to get everything you wanted. It's just you required your patience. And it was like I wasn't progressing. You know, it may have seemed slow, but I always gave reassurance. But again, though, they just could not comprehend it. It got frustrating. Okay. So in the back of the mind, I was listening to you guys. I was thinking, you know, what could that have been? You know, as a man, you know, you can't be under your woman 24/7 when you're trying to go out in the world and build things.
Right.
And that part of it, you know, it kind of wanted it on her terms. It's like, that's just not how it's going to work.
Well, you accomplished, it sounds like you accomplished some big things you needed to accomplish while in a relationship. So now at least you now have the foundation to go out there and, you know, meet someone else and have a bit of momentum. So you're good.
Okay, no, I was just trying to get a little bit of insight on it. So yeah, you pretty much it's just probably just an alignment issue.
That's all it
Because
was.
again, I feel like a good time. You can have a good time anytime. A good time has never gone anywhere. A good time has always been here.
Yeah, I'm with you. So,
Yeah.
but she ended it though, right?
Yeah, she wanted to end it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that, I mean, if there's something to take from it, right? That's the only thing that is concerning on your end is if I had to gauge who was most unhappy, it sounds like you were most unhappy in the connection, right? But she ended it.
You know what it was? The part that I tried to adapt because again, you know, women always say our men don't listen to us, and I listen, and I tried to make the necessary changes, but in every change, it's like the goalpost kept being moved.
Right. Do you have a pattern of doing that in relationships?
I'm sorry?
Do you have a pattern of doing that in
No,
relationships?
I don't.
Okay, so
As far as what? As far as adjusting?
yeah, being very
Well, you know,
quick to
with a little
adjust.
bit of self work, and you know, I have sisters, and we, you know, I talk and just reading. You know,
Okay.
you do have to listen to your partner.
Sure.
You do got to make adjustments. It's just part of the relationship dynamics, in my opinion.
Okay.
But you know,
But
this
there's a
probably
tension to be managed, right? Because it's like it sounds like you were making adjustments, but she was not making any.
right. You know, and
Okay.
I don't know if it's because she felt like, you know, I'm never bored. I always got something to do.
Okay.
You know, and even with her, you know, and I'm like, you need to find something that you need to do because, you know, you just want to work and come home and be in the bed. Like, you gotta, you know, get out and find something that drives you that you like to do.
Right.
You know, I can't be your whole world. And she made the comment that it didn't make sense for her to have to go outside her relationship to find things to do, you know, individually. I'm like, but I do. I like to ride my bikes, you know, and fuzz, get play some basketball, you know, things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and she didn't have those things. I think that was the biggest problem. So I was a part of it.
Yeah.
Everything relied on me, whether it moved or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was it.
Just a bad fit, man. Just a bad fit. But you'll find better in the future. All right.
Yeah, we good. I just thought I'd ask about it and see what your insight was.
Absolutely, brother. Well, best of luck to you, man. All right.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Take care. All right. Who else we got? They say in a few months you're gonna be stressing about this. Facts. All right. If you have a question pertaining to dating and relationships, you can hit the button at the bottom of the screen with the blue and pink person, and I or one of my mods will bring you up. In the meantime, you can drop a question in the chat until we get another caller. 2 people in the queue dropped, so we need more callers. We'll be back on the line tricking again, expecting a retirement check reimbursement. Fearless, are you okay? What's going on? C is back. Why would a man say I'm everything, then later say everything I am is a problem? When you say later, how later are we talking? Coach, I listened to you so much. I had a dream and you were giving advice. I'm in your dreams now? Okay. What kind of dream we talking about, Gigi? What did this dream consist of? What activities were taking place in this dream? We gotta talk about the spread feet. Don't mention feet again, but you get Hannah started. You know, Hannah got a foot fetish. A pronounced foot fetish. What's up, Trendy? Diamond in the building. I want my ex back. You want your ex back? Best of luck to you, big dog. Do you believe relationships can bounce back after cheating with multiple people? I don't know if the relationship can bounce back. Sounds like he's too busy bouncing on ass. What it sounds like. He's a bit distracted to make the relationship work, I would say. But it can, technically, right? Like he would have to unlearn figure out why he's doing what he's doing. Yes, like numerous random flings, people he don't even know. You're trying to make it sound better. It doesn't really sound better. It's, you're trying to like, sweeten it a little bit. Not working the way you think it is. Not a good situation, right? It can. He would have to change his behavior. And then you would have to actually forgive him and not throw that back up in his face. In that situation, yes, things can improve. But that's a tall order, love. That's a tall order. That's a venti at Starbucks. Have you ever cheated? No. No. Man, Diamond, you spamming that question, ain't you? No, Diamond, no. I am as faithful as they come. Faith, what's going on?
Hey, what's up?
How you doing?
So, I don't know if you remember my story about the 45-year-old. I'm in the club, but I posted him on the T app, and I found out he's a weirdo, and he's like a Smex addict.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I'm leaving him alone permanently now.
All right.
Now,
Nice.
if I wasn't leaving him alone, I was leaving him alone anyway because it took 24 hours.
It don't sound like you were leaving him alone. You posted him on the T app because last time I talked to you, we said leave him alone, right? Now you all on the T app.
I left him alone, but I posted him on the T app because that's what I've done to every dude I've been with. So
I wouldn't admit that.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't admit that.
Yeah, that scared men off. Like, oh, T app. No, I don't want to know you're just posting me places. But okay. What did you find out?
I just found out he was a Smex addict, and I found out that he's a weirdo.
Okay, details, please. In what way?
There were no other details provided.
Okay, so someone just said that he's a Smex addict?
Yeah.
That's not.
Doesn't make it true.
That's not tea. Come on.
Okay, I tried.
Okay, so you posted them. I mean, was there like a lot of women confirming that?
No, just one.
Just one.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But I'm gonna take your word for it, though.
Yeah, I think that's enough, considering that we already said you should move on from this situation, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so you got enough data to warrant you leaving it alone, right?
Yeah. I appreciate it, though. Have a good night.
You take care, love.
Yes, sir.
On the T app. And one person said that, and that probably came from her spam account. Interesting. Let's see if Steffi joins. Maz, whatever account has my profile picture, let's give them. Never mind, I'll block them. Don't worry about it. I don't like that. Don't play with my face, son. Danny in the building. What's up, big dog?
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, Chief?
So, circling back last night during the Mark After Dark, we were talking a bit about abstinence and stuff.
Right.
And I thought I'd kind of give my experience from when I tried it and get your thoughts on it.
Okay.
Last year I had, I'd say, a solid 6-month run. And there's a few obstacles I came across that you touched on. The first one is that piece you brought up about really having to be careful and not put yourself in situations, whether that's just like in a car with them or touching them or certain closeness that you had to be very careful about. And I felt like when I was doing that, I think I learned you kind of need that tension for attraction. It's really hard to do kind of both, because when you're really limiting yourself, you kind of do, what's the word for it? I feel like you kind of flatten the tension. Problem two.
You flat. Okay, real quick. Like, you say you flatten the tension. In what way? Just ground that for me.
Oh yeah, I feel like when you go out of your way to, I would say, almost avoid those situations, like whether you're really close with them or whether you're trying to build or try to create tension in certain ways. I I think the mistake I was making is I was trying to avoid those situations. But you need to do that, obviously, when you're dating someone. But I guess trying to find that balance was really difficult. And I think it did take a lot of, it would take a lot more energy and effort when you were dating someone. And then I think the second issue I kind of came across, I learned it from hindsight and obviously the hard way, but I feel like when you go into that slow burn, foundational, building like a foundation in the connection, I feel like you create this container that can attract avoidance because you're kind of writing the playbook where, intimacy is usually slowed down, pressure's kind of taken away, and I would come across situations where like I would connect with someone and we'd be fine for, dating consistently, getting to know each other. And then obviously, that 1, 2, 3 month mark when things start to get serious, like whether you're talking about meeting friends or even going to like church together, there'd just be like this switch that would hit and they would jump ship. And I think from hindsight, it felt like I was shooting myself in the foot, taking that approach. My original motivation for doing it was, so I'm a fairly new Christian, and I was thinking about or considering getting baptized, and one of the things I wanted to do before I got baptized is have my values locked in, like consistently kind of have those integrated by the time I committed to getting baptized. So that was one of the values that I was working on. But those were kind of the two big issues, and it was really hard to find, I guess, other masculine role models that were also doing that, because I found, at least at the church I went to and some of the Christian communities I socialize with, a lot of the times when they talk about abstinence or celibacy, it's usually not the men talking about it, and if they are, they're usually talking about like their wives or their daughters and the purity ring stuff. But I didn't really find a lot of men that had that experience that I can talk to and reflect with on how to even navigate that. So I guess I was going into that blind and learning those lessons the hard way.
The church does a terrible job with that, because none of like the people who are at the head are typically don't really have a good understanding of these dynamics, right? So my coach actually contends that one of the mistakes a lot of guys make when they are abstaining is they neuter themselves, and that ruins the polarity, right? So they take the idea of like I'm waiting till marriage to have sex to mean that I have to pretend like I'm not interested in having sex with you at all. And then that kills the connection, because women still want to be desired. They don't want to be lusted after, right? But desired, like you want her, right? There's a distinction, right? Lust is like, I want everybody. Whoever will have me, right? As long as you look good, I'll take you. Desire is like, I want you. Because it's like their fantasy is being chosen, right? So like desire is, I want you. And a lot of Christian men don't know how to communicate that because they feel shame around their sexual energy and sexual desire. So they pretend like it doesn't exist. When in reality, you can lean into that and still abstain, right? You can lean in. You can even admit to like how badly you want the person, but then still abstain, because then you're conveying that desire, right? And I think that is something you won't hear that in the church, though. What I just said, like you won't hear a pastor say that because they don't know. So a lot of people who abstain, it's like it's really platonic friend zone dynamics that people just decide to get married. A lot of the times when it actually maps out. When in reality, it should be like, I really want you. I want you so bad. Let's go ahead and get married now. That's kind of how it plays out and how it's played out historically in those situations. But you couple that with the restraint, which is you create the structure that will prevent you from, going too far with things. So not being in the same like house, not being isolated, that kind of stuff. Like you avoid those type of situations, but like there should still be that like subtext of like I want you, right?
Right, learning how to communicate that without going too far. I guess I struggled with just finding that line and sticking to it.
Yeah. You're equipped now, though, Danny. I said you're equipped now. I seen you dropping gems in the Telegram group, so it's like you know what you're doing now.
I've been around the block.
Right,
The block.
right.
I think it did kind of feel. I did kind of feel isolated, even trying to explore that value. I felt like I was one of 3 men on the galaxy, even considering that.
Right.
So I didn't even really know what to do or even how to, thread that needle.
Right. There's certainly not many men who observe this information who are probably abstaining. That's like rare. Sure, that's super rare. But yeah, you're definitely equipped to do it now. Hell, I may do it in the future. Who knows? But yeah, it's like you just gotta do it in a very specific way that the church and the elders don't really know how to communicate. Unfortunately.
Yeah, it might be something I explore later.
Yeah.
It's certainly something I'd be willing to trade off if it meant meeting the right person, but
Right.
that's kind of the other half of the problem.
It's hard, right?
Yeah.
That's hard. You said something about avoidance. I don't think you're attracting avoidance by taking that strategy. But like we have to also acknowledge that the current dating market is mostly avoidantly attached people, right? Because they keep re-entering the dating market. Think about it logically. Secure people pair off. They know how to work on relationships, so they tend to stay together. Anxious people will stay even in a bad relationship because they're afraid of being abandoned. Avoidant people proactively leave. So the dating market is top heavy with avoidantly attached people.
Okay.
So you might be observing a false positive. Go ahead.
Okay. Understanding. So it's less about the container and more just about how the dating market is.
Yeah, both things could possibly be true. You could be engaging in a way that is most attracted to avoidantly attached people, but then at the same time, like you are just dating a lot of avoidantly attached people because that's just the majority of the single population.
Yeah, sounds like Charlotte. But yeah, I get it's kind of the trend these days.
Right.
Okay. I'll just take the punches, or roll with the punches on that piece. But I appreciate the feedback.
Absolutely, brother.
Cool.
You take care, Mike.
I'll leave you to it. Take
All right,
care.
bro. Take care. All right. Jasmia?
Yes, you actually got it right. People don't usually get my name right.
Really? Hey.
Yeah, I get called Jasmia, all different types of stuff. But yes, so I can relate to Danny. Not so much in like meeting avoidant people, but for me, I am a Christian, and I gave my life to Christ 12 years ago now, or about to be 12 years. And before giving my life to Christ, I was sexually active. And once I gave my life to Christ, I decided that I wanted to take my relationship with God seriously. So I shut, everything down. And it hasn't been an easy journey at all. And for some reason, I think that men feel like it's easier for a woman to shut everything down than it is for a man. And I'm just like, that's not true, because I can't speak for all women, but I know for myself, like, I do have a high sex drive, and I've struggled, through my walk with God of just staying abstinent. And over time, it does get easier the longer you depend on God, but it's not something that's impossible for a man to do. And I noticed that the men that I've met, over the past few years, because like I haven't been in a relationship since I came to Christ. Like I actually ended my last relationship because he wasn't ready to walk with God, and I was. And I feel like I wasn't taught how to relate to him in that way.
as far as like, not necessarily compromise my relationship with God for him, but to understand his struggles. Because, like, I understand having a sex addiction or a pornography addiction because I've dealt with both. And that was something he struggled with, and he was open and honest with me about it. And, you know, I was just told, you know, shut it down, cut it off, you know, instead of like walking with him through that. Not to say that it was my job to do that, but I do feel like I could have at least tried, even, and to at least saw where it went, you know.
Right.
And then if I saw that it wasn't going to work out. But my question now is like, there are a lot of men who feel like it's so hard to abstain from sex, you know.
Right.
And men that I meet, it's like I always let them know I'm not willing to compromise on a sexual relationship. I'm not willing to end what I believe in just because you can't control yourself. And I don't want to come off, you know, condescending or you know, judgmental in any way, because I do understand that it's a genuine struggle, you know, like I understand that. But like, I want to know how to relate to a man without compromising, you know, like how to help them understand like the wait doesn't have to be that long, you know, like let's really build a relationship and build on, you know, a foundation of getting to know each other genuinely before we actually, you know, before the intimacy stuff comes into play. And, you know, I don't know if men feel like, especially for a Christian woman, they feel like we are judging them. Because I do know there are women, because we're taught, you know, hold out, get full of the Holy Spirit, get to know God, you know, wait for a man who's on your level, you know. But it's like, will you always meet a man where on your level, or will you sometimes have to meet him where he is? If that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. It's like, because like hearing you talk, the first answer I was going to give is you should be dating people who are also already abstaining. Right? And I do stand by that. But is there space to engage people who are not abstaining and then potentially like lead them to Christ yourself? Happens. It does happen. I think that's like a case by case basis, right? So I think that the synthesis between those 2 points is your default orientation should be dating men who are already abstaining. And then if you feel drawn to a particular person, not just you found him to be attractive, but like drawn. Like I'll give you an example. I tell guys when they're like approaching women that the women who they approach are going to fall into 2 buckets, right? Bucket 1 is lust. So they see her, she got a fat ass, she looks good, right? And it's like, okay, I want her, right? The other bucket is like, I'm just drawn to this person, right? I don't really know why, but it's like this person caught my eye. Maybe she's not even the most beautiful woman in the room. And that doesn't mean you don't have like lusty feelings for that person, right? But you're just drawn to that person. I call it like, that's something that my coach taught me. He called it soul level attraction. And I made a video about that and it went viral because a lot of guys resonated with it. Because in my experience, when you do approach women like that, there's chemistry right off the bat, right? There's some otherworldly quality about the connection that you being drawn to her is kind of signifying. So if you feel like you're experiencing that with a particular guy, right? Maybe that is God breathing on that connection. Maybe him engaging with you is the catalyst for him to, you know, go back home in a sense, right?
Right.
So that's just going to be a case by case basis, though, that you develop more discernment for as you build more intimacy with God, right? So that you can kind of feel his will guiding you. But I think that your default setting should absolutely be, we are like, you're abstaining, I'm abstaining, great. Let's go ahead and do it. Because a lot of Christians mess themselves up because they try to date in a worldly way. Right, so you'll have like women and men who are Christian of other faith, and they'll hop on dating apps, they'll try to match with people, and then they'll match with someone who may have Christian in their bio, but it's like it's a costume, right? And the worldly way of dating is like high novelty, high stimulation, high excitement, right? The Christian abstaining way is like slower, more safety focused, more connection focused, more like, are we equally yoked focused? It's not like, do I want to rip your clothes off focused, right? But you have women who are abstaining who are going after men in the worldly way based on the premise of like, I have high desire for you. And those two approaches contradict. They don't go together.
Okay.
Does it make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. I hope I answered your question. It was
You
a good
did,
question.
yes.
I had to
You
feel my way
did.
through it.
You definitely did, yes.
Okay.
I feel like for me, I do want to meet somebody who is abstaining. It's just rare.
It
I
is
feel like
rare.
it's so rare, you know?
Yeah, it is rare. And it's you said something that guys feel like it's easier for women. It's not that it's easier for women, y'all just have more practice. We live in different worlds, right? So it's like, because women are the gatekeepers of sex, it's like y'all grew up in an environment where you had to say no.
Right.
Even if you wanted to, you still had to say no because you didn't want the shame that came with it, right? All that kind of stuff. Guys didn't grow up in that world. They were trying to get access and they were told no. You know what I mean? Then they may get to the level where it's easier for them, and now they're a kid in the candy store, right? So y'all grew up in a world where it's like that discipline was being cultivated ever since you were like really young.
Yeah.
Where guys never, think of it like a muscle, right? Y'all just been in the gym longer. Guys never really had to work on that.
Yeah.
So for them, it feels harder. And I think that's why you have so many women like abstaining, where, you know, a lot of men are abstaining to kind of match it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you.
No problem, love. Best of luck to you, all right?
Thank you.
All right, take care. Cece in the building. Cece said she has a question today, people, so you don't have to be too terrified.
I do. I feel like I don't know how my question. I don't know. It's weird. But it's been on my mind. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm Ubering right now. Okay. So my question. I've been trying to think of how I'm gonna put it. Am I emasculating my boyfriend? That would be my question.
Sound like a Reddit post. Okay.
I know, like, because I feel like, okay, and this is just me in general. Sometimes, one, with my proximity to Black men from the South versus like West Coast men, sometimes I feel like it's a little bit different.
Okay.
And I say that just because, like, I have brothers, I have dad and stuff like that, and I would never go to them about this. But I think I'm just asking from a place of like, okay, am I doing something that's like very, like, I've heard it before, but am I really doing something that bad? It doesn't seem that way because my boyfriend plays it off, but it's the way I guess I touch him. So I do touch his butt a lot. And when I do it, he'll like grab my hand and just hold it, you know? And I kind of asked him about it. He was like, it's just, like, people don't like people touching butts. And I'm like, but I'm not like poking you or like doing something. And I tell him I'm really attracted to him. He has an athletic build. So that is why I'm like, I just want to touch him. And sometimes if he's like, wearing basketball shorts, it's like, ooh, like, I just want to.
Right.
But he's never used the word emasculating, but this actually came up with my son, and he used the word emasculating. And I was like, oh, shoot. Like, and it came up because the whole Michael Jordan thing. I know you know about that post where he was like touching a little kid. And use the word emasculating, and then I thought, like, could I be emasculating when I do that? When I'm, you know, like doing something? It never crosses my mind, and I think between, if I look back on like the different type of men that I dated, I have dated guys from the South, but at the same time, I've, you know, like, and I feel like I've always kind of been that type of person, and nobody's really done anything. And I know from TikTok, like, they'd be like, oh, that could be you trying to think that I'm such and such, and I'm like, I don't lose respect. Like, I want to touch your body. I'm a very, like, my physical touch love language, if you don't, when I get to that point, I'm very, like, head to toe. I'm going to tell you, oh, you got a bowl in between your third and fourth toe. Like, I'm gonna, I just detail oriented, and I'm very, like, handsy. But I don't want to, he hasn't, like I said, he hasn't said anything direct. But sometimes I feel like culturally we're a little different kind of black sometimes.
Right.
We come from like, oh, in the South, you know, this and that and the other. And I'm like, okay, like, I don't understand it. But I just kind of like, okay, I accept it. It's like, okay, cool. Like learning lesson there. But I know that sometimes, like I said, I've heard it before of like the whole Black men being questioned about their sexuality when it comes to certain things. I'm like, I'm a girl touching you, like, this way.
Yeah,
Like
I think you're reading into it too much. I think like it's not that big a deal, right? Unless he makes it that big a deal, right? Someone in the chat was like, all men hate that. I think like when I was in my previous relationship, I didn't like it, but but it wasn't like I now like I have a big problem with it. Like I just made the connection in my head, like it's like tickling, right? Like you're not a fan of it, but you're also not, you disrespecting because you tickled me. You know what I mean? It's like that's how I think about it. Now some guys may really not like it, and they may like be stern about it, like, oh hey, no, right? That type of shit. That situation, leave it alone.
He hasn't done that. He's just cool, like I said, like it's like a soft caress. It's just like, oh man, like I just like your booty right now. Like that's my intention. That's my mind. I'm like trying to be like sensual, and but I will like, you know, it'll go from like touching the back to down there, and maybe that's what makes him feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, like if the vibe is that it's just slightly annoying, then it's like it's whatever. If the vibe is he feels disrespected or something like that, then that's different, right? Like I know we're in this world where it's like you got to be very like meticulous about like, oh, am I crossing the boundary? I get it, but at the same time, it's not that serious at the same time. So it's like again, coming from personal experience, I didn't like it, but it wasn't to the degree. It's like, to what degree do you not like it, right? Is this an actual problem for you? Like, it wasn't a problem for me. It was just like a little annoying thing the man used to do. It wasn't an issue. We're not fighting over it. I don't have to set a boundary over this. It's not that big a deal. It's like an eye roll moment. Well, I was in an 8-year-long relationship and never got to that point, right? Now, again, this is my situation, and I've not even heard men being like, I had to tell her that she had to stop or I'm leaving. Like, what did she do? She kept slapping my ass. I've never heard that. She's never heard that before. Right? So it's like, I just think you're reading into it a little bit.
Okay, because he's the first one that's really, like, you know, and I've seen him move a little bit, and I'm just like, oh, I just like to touch you, you know, like, are you okay? And he's like, yeah, like, just, you know, I was like, okay. And then, but he never, like I said, doesn't make a big deal of it. If we're out in public and I do it, he'll just take my hands. If we're, like, in the house and I do it, he just boops and stuff. And I don't want to make it a big deal, but I also don't want to be.
He doesn't like it, so don't spam it.
Keep doing it.
You hear me? Like, he doesn't like it, so don't spam it, right? That's like the balance here. Is in my situation, it wasn't all the time, but like, yeah, if you're telling me like. Yeah, but if you're telling me like this is a daily occurrence, it's like, okay, you might be spamming it a little bit. Maybe chill out. chill out a little
Well,
bit on that.
I see him only once a week, so I think when I'm around him, I'm very like physical, like I'm constantly touching him. Like if we're on the couch, let's say I have my hand on him, like leg, foot, arm, something is touching. I'm just very like touching. So standing somewhere, I'm touching.
I got you. I got you. If you're really that concerned about it, just stop doing it. I would imagine if my ex had to call in on the show and ask this question, she probably would just stop doing it, right? So like, if you're that concerned, if this is like ruining your sleep, then just stop doing it, right? If this is something you're not really thinking about, like maybe you find it funny that he's a little bit uncomfortable, not to the degree to where he has to like set a boundary or even wants to set a boundary around it. Because that was my dynamic. Like she like laughed seeing that I was annoyed with it. But if this is like bothering you and you feel like it's hurting the connection, then okay, stop doing it then.
Yeah, well, like I said, it really came up because like my son was talking about the whole my door thing, and he's like, yeah, I don't really like when somebody touches my butt, like, you know, my last girlfriend, and that's what made it click. Like, oh, like, is it that bad? Like, you know, it's something that he's never like. So it's just like I'm trying to think of like, have I seen any of like my brothers or anybody? But like, obviously, I wouldn't touch my brothers like that. That's different. But like, in my mind, I'm just coming from like, I'm physically attracted to my boyfriend.
I hear you, but I gotta tell you though, CC, you're putting way too much energy in this.
Okay.
You're putting way too much. You're making a mountain out of a molehill. So it's like the real simple heuristic is like, if it's not that big a deal to you and he's not treating it like it's a big deal, you can do it sparingly. If it's really bothering you and it's making you anxious, then the simple solution is to stop doing it in general.
Yeah, I do overthink. You already know this. But yeah, I just don't want to, okay, because it's still early, so sometimes I'm like, I don't want to make him feel uncomfortable. Yeah, he may not want to necessarily tell me how uncomfortable or express it. So I think sometimes that's where I come from, like, oh, am I really doing something that he's just not telling me to the degree of where it could be?
Okay. I got you.
Yeah. But alright, thank you.
No problem, love.
I won't touch him.
All right,
I don't want him to feel uncomfortable. Oh wait, hold on. You guys, we're not even at like 80K right now. Like, can we get the taps up? Thank you. Can we get a few more shares? We got a little bit more time in the live. And yeah, thank you guys for joining. Don't forget to come up with your questions ready, like I did. And thank you guys for tapping. Let's get those taps up. We got 250 people in here. So we just power tap for like 30 seconds right now. The numbers will jump. I promise you. Just stop whatever you're doing. Yeah, just tap. And repost and share the live to your top 15 people that you see. When you go to that little gray button down there, that's how you're going to share to your followers, or you can repost it to your story. So as anybody scrolling on TikTok, they will come across the live and be able to join in. So we're going to let some more people up. Come on, y'all. We only have 58. Let's go. Tap. All right, the goal is 115K by the end of the live, you guys. So if you guys can continuously tap and then power tap every now and then, we appreciate the follows. We appreciate you coming in tonight, spending time with the host, and hopefully taking something away from the conversations. Thank you guys for joining us. All right, thank you, Coach.
Appreciate you, CC.
Bye.
All right, who we got next? Connor?
Yeah, we spoke the other day about how I get sex easy, just I don't maintain a relationship for very long.
I remember. Yeah, what's going on?
I was going over like the last girl I talked to, and there's some things that I can point out, but obviously I can't see everything.
Yeah.
So I thought I would kind of explain what happened with her and see if you can't kind of pinpoint some things possibly.
Right.
So yeah, first date, she like moves it up in the day, which is fine. We go to lunch, and she's like, let's keep hanging out. Walk around the park for an hour or two, just talking, and, you know, we make it at the end of it, and I pretty much kind of made my mind up that I'm going to be way more direct. So I was like, I'd love to see you again. Let me know when you're free. We made out, and I was like, or you can come over and meet my dog, you know. And she almost said yes, but she's like, I don't want to make rash decisions, but I do want to come over.
Right.
But maybe next time. I was like, understandable. So
Okay.
she left, and then I didn't talk to her the next day because I thought, you know, everything's pretty chill.
Right.
And she texted me, she's like, hey, you know, I do require someone to text me every single day to know that, like, we like each other. And I was like, okay. So I text her every single day after that. And then a few days later, I do give her a call, and we end up talking for about 2 hours. And on the call, at the end of the call, she's like, you know, this was awesome. It's really good. Like, talking on the phone is completely different than texting. And on the date, I thought you were a little bit shallow. So this makes me see you in a whole new light. I was like, that's awesome. Hell yeah. And then, so we keep texting, and we didn't hang out that weekend. She, I guess, got her period or something. And then I call her the next week again. We have another 2-hour conversation. We're texting every day again. And so it's 2 weeks of texting. And then we hang out again on the weekend, and she comes over. I cook her dinner. We get pretty handsy. We don't do everything, but we get pretty close. And but the weird thing was, after that, we were just kind of laying there, and she's like, you know, I'm gonna hurt you. Not like physically, but like, she looked at me and said, I'm gonna hurt you, like emotionally, I guess. And I didn't know what to say to that, so I just kind of laughed it off. And then the week after that, we're talking, and then she just kind of texts me randomly one day. She's like, hey, can we just be friends with benefits? I have so much like anxiety thinking this has to go somewhere. And I was like, yeah, that's you know, cool with me, because I'm thinking, okay, sweet, you know, I would still get sex out of that. And I'd still, you know, we'd still hang out. So I said yes to that, and she's like, thank you so much, blah, 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 blah. And then she came over that next weekend, and we did end up hooking up like 3 times. It was pretty great. And but she said again that, you know what, I'm gonna hurt you. She told me that, and then she also told me how she's been fucking some other dude. She thought that was just gonna be a one-night stand, even though she's told me she doesn't do one-night stands or first date sex. And so I was like, oh, that's fun to hear that apparently you do fuck people on the first date. And her jaw dropped a little bit. And then I just kind of laughed it off and moved on, because I didn't want to make a huge deal out of it. Yeah, so she kind of said those things. I thought that was kind of weird for someone to say to another person, because she told me and the last thing was, we were sitting here after, I think, just the first round, and she's like, you know, you have so many green flags. You have all the traits I want in someone. If you could just be a little toxic, that would really help me a lot. And I didn't know what to say to that either. What do you say to that? So I just kind of, again, laughed it off and just moved on. And then 2 days after that, she ghosted me. So.
Okay. What's the question here?
I mean, what would I have even said to that, or at what point did I lose her? Because it seemed like at first, like I said, the first date, she was like, you're great, I want to come home with you. And then after that, it just seemed to slightly go downhill a little bit every time.
Are you a guy who does like a lot of self-work? Do you like working yourself?
Yes.
Okay. So you're a pretty grounded person.
Very grounded, very kind of mellow. You know, we can talk about this, we can discuss this, but I'm not going to yell at you. You're not going to yell at me.
Yeah. And you view yourself as being like emotionally intelligent?
I'm pretty emotionally intelligent.
Okay.
I recognize how I feel. I recognize I messed up here or there, and
And you are pretty good at attuning with women, right? So reading them, kind of figuring out what they need.
I'm not the best at reading people.
Okay.
I sometimes have to guess. I'm not the best at reading emotions on people.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you're running into like a problem with you're in a very unique situation because you're a grounded man, right? But you also have like a desirable aesthetic. Avoidant women tend to use grounded men for as regulation. So in dealing with you, because you're so grounded and there's nothing toxic about you, you don't create open loops. So there's quite literally no reason for a woman to come back to you after they've slept with you.
Right.
You think that women like will come back after they get like a good lay. Sometimes. But often it's because the man they're dealing with is emotionally unavailable. He's avoidant. There's something still to figure out about him, right? So they keep coming back. There's an open loop. They're incentivized to do it. With you, you probably are very you're probably very open, right? Accessible, you know.
Yeah.
If someone's asked you a question, you'll answer the question, right? Probably have a lot of self-awareness and you'll share that, right? There's no open loops created. So you give them what they need and then they leave. So they're like, there's no reason, there's nothing more to be gained from this experience. That's why she was, I wish you could be a little bit more toxic so it can keep me around. That's what she was basically saying. Like, I feel like I'm not going to stay here long because there's nothing to warrant me staying here because I'm used to staying in toxic dynamics. So I wish you could be more toxic. So she basically being like, you're good looking. I wish you could be more toxic so that I have an emotional reason to stay here. But there is no reason. It's I know this from experience. That's what I'm telling. That's what I'm telling you. That's why I know with such clarity what you're going through. But that's the situation. It's just the byproduct of working on yourself and being healed to a degree.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, when I really, after my 5-year relationship, I got single. I went out and every girl called me a sarcastic asshole. And yeah, I definitely had girls that wanted to stay more often than. And then now that I'm like, not like too nice, but I'm still nice, funny, all the good stuff. And now they're just kind of like, eh.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's also like the pool that you're dating in too, because you're also dating exclusively from a dating apps. Dating apps, you're mostly going to get emotionally unavailable women. You're going to get women who are avoidant. You're going to get women who have like very high sex drives as well.
Yeah.
That's mostly what you're going to get. Yeah, that's mostly what you're going to get from dating apps, bro. So, like, you would have better luck if you start to not remove yourself from apps, but have other ways to connect with people.
What other ways to connect with them, possibly?
So just finding like other ways
similar
to
interest, or
finding other ways to bring women into your ecosystem, right? So it's like that could be cold approach, that could be meeting women off of social media, that could be, you say you do stand-up comedy, it could be you meeting women that way, right?
Yeah.
But purely through an app, especially with like what I think we determine your aesthetic is basically magnetizing those avoidantly attached women who are just going to be on the apps forever, and they have no problem with that because they're loving it. That's who you're going on dates with, is women like that.
That's true, because that's at least my third confirmed probably avoidant. The other two up front and told me I break up with every single person I've ever dated, and I was like, got it.
Right.
So
that's all. You're having an experience and it feels personal and it feels like, okay, because it's happened so many times. It's like, well, is this going to be the experience with all women? No, it's from a particular type of woman that is overrepresented in the pool that you're dating in.
Okay, so you're saying I'm not doing anything particularly bad, just I'm dating the wrong people,
right?
In general.
So there's things to do on your end, though, right? Like Like I said, I wouldn't try to do one night. If you want a relationship, I would cut one night stands.
Okay.
Or trying to sleep with them on the first night. I would cut that immediately. Maybe try it on the third date, right? But I wouldn't try to sleep with them immediately. But I would couple that with, because you're high spark. A good degree of safety as well, but high spark for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like, sex can amplify the connection that is already there. So if you spend the first couple of dates connecting with the woman and then you sleep with her, you're going to have a more profound impact on her. If you sleep with her the first night, there's no connection there, so there's nothing to amplify.
Okay.
So cut the first date. Come see my dog. And then also don't date exclusively from apps. The combination of those two adjustments should put you in a better place.
Okay. I can do that.
All right, bro. Keep me posted,
I
though.
appreciate it.
Keep me
Yeah, I
posted.
will.
All right, Chief. You take care, man.
You too.
All right, who we got next? We got Keisha.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's going on?
How you doing?
Great, how are you?
I'm all right. I have a situation. I have my feelings on it, but I wanted to get a male perspective.
Sure.
So I'm going to try to tell it like as impartially as I can. But ultimately, my question is, am I overreacting? So maybe 4 years ago, I was dating this guy. We had really great chemistry, easy conversations. Like, I enjoyed being around him. And we dated for like 3 months or so. And we were having a really good time. But my issue with him at that time was I didn't really feel like a priority in his life. I was dating with intention. He had gotten married young and was divorced. He was caring for his mom who had just had a stroke. He was working full time. So he had all these other things going on. And I felt like, I was like the last on the priority list, like after work, after family, after friends. If
Right.
nothing else is going on, then we'll hang out.
Right.
So like I said, we dated like 3 or 4 months, but we had been friends for a long time. So this wasn't like a new relationship, just the dynamic had changed. So after about 3 or 4 months, we had this conversation. I told him how I was feeling. And he said he understood. He, got where I was coming from. He was going to do better. And then like a day or two later, he like totally ghosted me. Right? Like no communication, just out. So fast forward to January 2026, he like spins the block, hits me up out of nowhere with all these apologies, taking accountability for what he had done back then. He said, he got scared. His first wife had cheated on him, and it like, he had all these issues because of that. So having these feelings for me, he got scared and didn't know how to express it. But he apologized and took accountability. So I decided to exercise a little grace and just see what would happen. We didn't necessarily jump back into a relationship. Like my defenses were all up. So it was just like, let's see what he does. I accept your apology. Let's see what happens.
Right.
So this was January. This week, my birthday is today, and I always try to take like a solo trip for my birthday, and he knew this. So I left on Sunday, and I've been out of the country since then. Last night we were talking, and the subject of my birthday comes up, and he's like, when you get back, we need to celebrate. And I was like, okay, I'll be back on Thursday. And he's like, oh, well, my friend's having a birthday party on Saturday. I got this car show on Sunday. So Friday is really the only day I can do anything. And I said, fine, let's do something Friday. Mm-hmm. This morning he texts me, I forgot. I have basketball tickets with my nephews or something. So Friday's out too. And I feel some type of way about that. like, it would be one thing if he's like, you know, this weekend's not good. How about Monday? How about we go to lunch on Saturday? How about we meet up on Tuesday? How about, you know, next Friday? But it was just like, can't. The one day he said he could, then he cancels, and there's no like reschedule. It was just, you know, I can't do it.
Right.
So to me, it's the same pattern as before. Like, I'm not a priority.
Right.
But I wanted to get a male perspective on this.
I think you kind of already solved the problem. Sounds like you're not a priority.
Okay. Just want to make sure, because I'm a big birthday person. So,
Right.
like, when we were dating the last time for his birthday, even though we weren't together on his actual birthday, like, he was on a guy's trip in Vegas, but I made sure, like, to send his liquor to his room and cupcakes and, like, acknowledge it, because I knew we weren't going to be together. But I know I go above, I'm extra with birthdays. And I know everybody's not like that. But I did expect like some kind of something.
Right.
And getting very low effort, I feel some type of way about it.
As you should. But it's like, also you the main mistake that was made here was you entertaining someone who ghosted you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, there's no, I can see someone ending a relationship and then being like, I did not mean to end it because of this past situation, this past trauma I went through. That's why I jumped ship. But ghosting is a different thing.
I agree.
So that's not something that I would come back from, to be honest with you.
And normally I wouldn't either, but I knew about the like trauma, for lack of a better word, from his first relationship and how he's like real skittish. So I felt like, you know, like I said, we're not in a relationship. I didn't jump back in, but I felt like, let me see what happens. And what I'm seeing happening is what was happening before.
Right.
So,
Right.
all right.
Because it also, there was no, even his reasoning for coming back and his justification for his behavior was focused on the ghosting, was it not?
Yes.
Okay, so there was never a solution to him not prioritizing you.
True.
Meaning that problem was never solved.
Exactly.
Which is why
yes.
I tell people not to entertain like previous connections under, you know, very specific circumstances, right? Unless under very specific circumstances, because it's like
the same things that pissed you off.
Is that the problem's still there?
Yeah.
The problem hasn't been solved yet.
Yeah.
Then it just becomes a waste of time.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We're on the same page.
All right, Level. Best of luck to you, all right?
Thank you.
All right, you take care. All right, let me see. Make it easy. You there, bro? You're muted, big guy.
Hey, what's up, boss?
What's going on, Chief?
Not too much, bro. I was just so my thing was, or what I wanted to ask you, like, kind of get information on, was showing up. Like, I think that I want to be better at showing up morally and like so. Damn, I had this thought out.
Let's give him a second to come back in.
Let's see.
Okay, I can hear you now.
Yeah, so I just wanted my everyday life to kind of represent my morals, and I feel like I just want to show up into a relationship like the best version of me. So I kind of like think my confidence is low right now just because damn, I had this thought out before, bro. I'm fucked up right now.
You good. You good.
But,
You gonna find it.
Yeah. Like, so basically, like, I just think that my confidence is low, and I think that that's my main issue. Maybe like the way that I talk to women, like I want to be able to banter with women more and flirt better.
Right.
So I don't know if that's just a confidence thing or if I'm just
So, like meeting women, you want to be able to banter with them better and flirt better. You said.
yeah, for sure. Like I feel like I come off as just being like how you said the one guy was before. Like he kind of just gives everything like right then and there. It's like she said she wants some toxicity or she wanted to play a little bit.
Right.
I feel like I just try to be a good guy off the rip and give them straight love off top. You know what I'm saying? Maybe
Okay.
like toward the love bombing type thing.
So what problem is being created based on how you're showing up?
I don't think it's fun. I don't think it's entertaining to the women. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's more so boring and it's like, damn, like you just gonna love me off the rip. You know what I'm saying? Like you're just gonna show love off the rip, and I feel like they don't really respond to that.
So on the first date, you showing love immediately.
No, just more what you call it, like chivalrous, like Thor. Maybe some. I might do flowers if I really fuck with her, like so stuff like that, like.
Okay. So when you go on a date, what are your thoughts about the date? Like, what is your goal when you go on a date with a woman?
What is my goal? My goal is to get to know them. I think I gotta be more. Damn, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm a double back because I really don't have it, and I know it's like it's
You're
gonna drive me
good.
crazy.
We can talk through it. If you want to come back, that's fine. But like, we can work with what you're giving me so far.
Okay.
Right. That's why I'm
So-
asking questions.
Yeah, so I think that when I go on the date, like, yeah, when I go on a date, I just want to show them that I'm a good guy. And I really I think that my last relationship was good, but she ended up moving and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I want to replace that so bad. You get what I'm saying?
Got you.
And I feel like I try to jump in right where we left off
Got you.
with them. You get what I'm saying? And
Makes
I feel like
sense.
that's not fair to them.
Okay. So we can work with that. So your past relationship ended. Your past relationship ended, and now you're trying to fill that void.
Yeah.
So then you're trying to put your best foot forward so that you can go ahead and lock something down.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so we got to deal with that first, right? So the first thing is you got to make peace with like your independence, right? So you got to be okay being alone. That's the first thing.
Like when I get lonely, like I feel like I'm like, damn, I want to hit somebody on Instagram up or like, hey,
Right.
look, anybody, let's go on a date or something. Like,
Yeah, you got to fight that impulse
okay,
and sit with that feeling, right? Don't look at that feeling as something you got to act on. Look at that feeling as something you got to sit with. Because you're going to come from a more powerful place when you're not trying to force it. And right now you're trying to force it. You're trying to have someone in your life. You probably have some degree of anxious attachment, right? So there's nothing wrong with wanting a relationship,
right?
But you shouldn't need one to complete you. And right now, that's kind of the place you're coming from. It's like you need it to complete you. So you have to get back to like, you have to lessen the intensity from like, I need it to complete me to just, I simply desire one, right?
Right. Okay, so that part, you were talking about grounding with the other guy. I feel like I need to be more grounded. Like, I think that was kind of like, related to me. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I don't know how to be more grounded. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you. This is gonna be part of it, right? It's like you're integrating your independence. You feel me? So like the best advice that was given to people that I've heard is given to people who are like more anxiously attached, who like kind of need connection, is to pretend like they'll never find anyone, right? You will, but just pretend, thought experiment. Pretend like you won't find anyone. In what way can you build a life to where you can still be happy with it, right? whatever the answer to that question is, you go do that. So if that means make more friends, if that means engage in more hobbies, if that means get on your purpose or find what your purpose is, right? Or make finding your purpose, do those things. Because
Okay.
when your life is full, you don't put so much pressure on the person you're with or on a romantic connection,
Gotcha.
right?
Because
Because
then
that's
if it falls through, then I'm gonna be hurt even more, and it's just gonna
right.
be a
Because
repeating cycle.
a lot of people make the person that they're with their world, and then when the connection ends, their world ends.
Yeah.
So they take it much harder than somebody else would, right? Like it's not an enjoyable experience for anyone, but for the person who's made that other person like their reason for existing, it's like it's a crushing, debilitating experience that's hard to
Yeah.
bounce back from. So you don't want to do that because also, in addition, not only do you make yourself a lot more vulnerable if the connection ends, on top of that, that person can feel how much pressure you're putting on them. Right. There
Gotcha.
was a guy who called earlier who was basically talking about his lady like didn't have any hobbies, didn't have any friends, and she just depended on him for everything. It's a lot. It's too much to give one person. Right. They have their
Yeah.
own life they have to worry about. Now they have to worry about your emotional well being because you're putting so much on them. Right. So you have to kind of build that. And as you build that world, right, this is probably the reason why you don't enjoy your solitude is because your world simply isn't big enough. You're not involved with enough things. You don't have enough going on. You don't have enough relationships to where it's like, being in your solitude is actually an enjoyable experience. The people who like being alone is because they can do a lot of shit. There's a lot of shit they can get into, right?
Yeah, that's very true. Because I think most of the things I do, I'm work and I'm going to the gym. So it's like most of it's by myself anyway. So it's
Right.
like just recently joined like this group. It's a group of men that like outreach to the kids and stuff like that. So I was like, all right, cool. Let me try this or do kind of show them. Like I'm an HVAC tech, right? So I'm
Okay.
like, I'm gonna show y'all some trades and shit like that. So I
Right.
think that is kind of helping me to get out and experience more, and you know what I mean, be involved in the community or
Right.
like just social groups. Looking for bigger social groups for sure.
Absolutely. That's a great first step, man. That's good. That adds more meaning to your life.
Yeah.
That can ground you more, as you said. Um, so that's the core of the issue, right? When you make your life bigger, and when you make your life bigger, that grounds you more and puts you in a situation where you are at peace with yourself.
Yeah.
When you do date women, you're not going to feel rushed to lock one down. And not feeling rushed to lock one down will end the performative behavior that you're engaging in because you are invested in creating a good impression because you need somebody to lock down so that you can feel at peace with your existence, right? So if you solve this foundation, it has rippling effects that will make the whole dating experience more fruitful for you. So the problem that you came in with, which is like bantering and flirting and stuff like that, yeah, that may still need to be addressed, but that wasn't the real core of your issue, right? If we just solved that and you still had this need, you still would have the same problem. So when it comes to like bantering and stuff like that, it's just going to be like not being so logical. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to be so logical. You know,
They don't
someone.
gotta be perfect, like type thing.
Yeah, man. It's if someone like a woman asks you what's your type. Right? I'll give you an example. If a woman asks you what's your type, most guys will just start describing what their type is. They'll answer the question logically. A playful guy would just start describing the woman in front of him.
Gotcha.
Like maybe she's like 5'2", long hair, right? Well, my type is like 5'2", long hair, right? It's playful. That's the reason why a lot of guys are bad at flirting because it's like they're too logical. They're too in their head. They're trying to every question that is asked, they like answer it logically, and it's like no, play a little bit. It doesn't have to be so in your face, right? It can be, you can do the same thing if someone asks you what you do for a living, right? You don't have to give them a real answer. Now, don't spam this shit, right? You don't have to. Like, sometimes you do want to actually answer questions, but or maybe if someone's asking you questions, like I've told women, like, what's this, a job interview? Like, playfully tease them like that when they ask too many questions. That's what it's about, right? I mean, there's more I can say on it, but the core of like lacking the ability to flirt and banter is just you taking it too seriously, you're being too logical, and it's possible that your desire for things to work out perfectly due to
Yeah.
you not wanting to be alone is making you a bit more uptight. So this problem will probably naturally solve itself once you solve the core issue that we discussed.
Gotcha. So becoming more grounded would calm me down and not put so much pressure on as many, like as on the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I can feel that for sure.
Yeah.
What would you consider to you said make your life bigger? What else would you consider to be more grounded? Like I'm trying to figure out like because like my ex, she was really like my social life. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
I would go out to bars with her and all that type shit.
Right.
So I'm trying to figure out. I got a couple of friends, but we not as close. I had, you know what I mean. But give me what you would think something to help me get grounded, more grounded.
Are you asking, like, I can take this direction to like a grounded place, but are you asking how to have a better social life?
Yeah. So let's do. When you say grounded, though, you mean like grounded in myself? Like you mean
Right. You have gravity.
confident in myself?
Yes,
Is grounded?
you have gravity. Your presence carries gravity, right? And a good way of doing that, achieving that, is to be in the present moment. You're in the here and now. If you're in the here and now, you're going to have more gravity. You're going to walk around with more gravity. You'll be more felt. Your energy will. If you're in the here and now, people can tell when you're present with them.
Gotcha.
And this presence extends to social connections, right? So when you are, make your goal when you're engaging with somebody self-amusement. You're simply amusing yourself, right? That could be on dates, that can be on, because people will share in that experience with you. When you're amusing yourself, you'll say things that entertain yourself and that will also entertain the person that you're talking to.
Gotcha.
Right? So make that your goal socially, is you're just amusing yourself when you're talking to people, and then you're going to come across as a more playful, enjoyable personality.
Yeah, I got you because I definitely do answer very like straightforward and just robotic. Like, but it's just like you ask me a question, I'm gonna just answer it.
Right.
Because I'm usually on a run, so it's like I'm moving.
Yeah.
And like, I got you.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm
It
on
takes
a run,
practice.
so then that's kind of like you talking about being present. It's like I'm always trying to get to the next thing. Like, got you.
Yeah, you got to practice it. It's a practice. Meditation helps. Going on walks help. But yeah, you got to ground yourself in the here and now. Be in the present moment, and people can see it in your eyes when you're present, right? And it's attractive to be present like that, and it makes for better conversations because you freed up mental bandwidth, whereas other people are like, or past you is projecting into the future.
Gotcha. What do your sessions look like? Is that a question that you answer on live, or is that a question you answer somewhere else?
You can DM me. You can schedule like a free call, discovery call with a link in my bio. Then I can tell you like what kind of packages I offer.
Gotcha.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna hit you up.
All right, big dog. Best luck to you, man.
Appreciate it.
All right, that was a good little convo. We got time for one more call, probably. Probably got time for one more. Let me see. Unless there's nobody in the queue. Okay, nobody in the queue.